Dude, your voice is rough. What's going on?
Lost my voice. I don't know if I'm losing it. Or
Were you yelling at a concert or something?
I was screaming at Bree.
Yeah, she probably deserved it.
I have a bed that moves up and down, and I'm a snorer, so I'm like, I finally was doing.
Wait, how old are you again?
20.
Okay.
I was doing some research, and it was like, well, if you just raise your head up more than usual, you'll stop snoring. So then I did that, didn't snore, but there's like more airflow now in my throat, so it was like drying out my throat. So I think I have to get used to it. I don't know.
You know what you need to do is you need to buy those new things that you tape over your mouth. Have you seen that? It's like in Men's Health magazine right now. Tape
to force
mouth
yourself to
breathe through your nose because it's better for your body in ways.
Yeah,
you should try
I
that.
would probably die because like I woke up this morning and I was stuffed up and I couldn't breathe out of my. But yeah,
I know. I think I have a deviated septum, so like I would never risk doing that. I feel like I'd go to sleep and not wake up.
Jake got that surgery. You have to talk to him about it.
Really?
Yeah.
A ton of relief?
Yeah, he just said it was the worst experience of his life.
Oh, dude, that's what I've heard. Is like just because they shatter your nose, basically.
And I have a large underjaw, and like they're like, we might have to do surgery. I'm like, you're not gonna do that because they'd have to break it, and then like I'm like,
for a deviated septum?
No, for me, I have a big jaw. Because it's like too big that I have to like move it back because like my teeth hit different.
Oh, your bite, things like
but
that.
I'm like, just leave it. I don't know, give me veneers or something.
Deal with it. Well, Riley's sick now. I'm finally better.
I'm not
feeling
sick.
like $1,000,000 bucks. Back in action. Oh, you're going to the gym today?
Yeah.
How have the workouts been?
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, working out is really tough for me. Like,
Yeah.
I get so distracted. I'll do a set and I'm like, all right, when can I leave? Like, I don't know. I hate being in the gym and I
Do you think it's because of what time you go work out? Like, have you found relief if you go work out like in the mornings versus in the afternoons?
No, alone, no. But if I go with someone, then it's better. It's more tolerable.
Right.
But I seriously, when I'm alone in the gym, I'm just like, when is this going to be over?
Right.
Like, I just want to get out of there.
What is it that's on your mind that you just want to get out of there because you just don't like it?
Yeah, I'd rather be anywhere.
Right.
But it's just something you got to do. So
I know,
literally the
you
other
gotta
night,
stay
I was
healthy.
like, walking around the house and I was like saying out loud, I was like, I don't want to go to the gym, but I'm going to. And I was like getting ready to go. I was like, I don't want to go.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Is when I need to get in the cold plunge every morning. And I'm like, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. But I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I turned my cold shower on this morning and I waited in the bathroom for like 20 minutes just fucking around. Not getting in it.
You're like on TikTok.
Yeah.
You're just like,
I'm like,
shit.
so.
Cold plunge. Give you guys a little update on how the cold plunging is going. We are, what is it today? Wednesday?
You are.
I am 8 days in every single day. I don't post about it that much anymore because I'm just like, okay, I'm sure people don't give a shit that I'm getting in cold water every morning, but
That's pretty sick.
One, I spent way too much money on my cold plunge tub. I think actually I'm going to take that back. I didn't because I've started to like learn how to use it.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's just like a hot tub.
I am very bright right now.
Things like that. It's because the sun is coming out.
sun's coming
and it's
out.
a beautiful day. I love that song by U2, by the way. It's a beautiful day. Don't, Riley, come on, dude. Oh, come on. So cold plunge. Let's go with a few benefits I've seen and a few cons I've seen from it. So benefits I've seen, I notice, a lot of people say, oh, it's going to wake you up in the morning. What I've noticed is I feel like my body is hyperactively like just generating more red blood cells. Like it's just going through the cycle of blood and things like that a lot more efficiently. Like I feel a little bit of a spike in energy when it comes to like 2, 3 in the afternoon. I'm not like dead tired and need caffeine, things like that. I mean, I've got a 6-week-old at home and I feel like there's also the positive of like, I'm like excited to get up and do it in the morning, even though it sucks. Like, do you know, like when you have those times in your life and career and whatnot, where like you wake up and you're excited to like get out of bed and like go do shit, whether it's like go check the stock market, go trade, things like that. Like, those windows in your life where you're like so motivated to get up and do something.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like right now.
Yeah, I understand that. I've been having a hard time getting up out of bed in the morning. Like this last week, I don't know why. I've been going to bed earlier though. I just am
Maybe
like
too much sleep.
I don't know. I'm just like I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
Like I'm stoked about everything throughout the day, but like getting to that point,
Getting out of bed, huh? Maybe Riley needs to go start trading again, or
maybe my adjustment in my bed has been more comfortable or something.
Jeez, you're getting so freaking old and you're only 20.
I'm being proactive. Like,
You need a cold plunge. That's what you need. You need to put a cold plunge on your porch.
I'll have a
You need to
backyard
Get your
soon.
ass out of the bed and get in the cold plunge. I am a huge advocate of cold plunging now. 8 days in,
Where's your affiliate links?
yeah, where are my affiliate links at? I need to get that set up, by the way. But so to give you guys a little substance, I ordered mine from coldplunge.com, which is the company that went through Shark Tank, had a lot of success. I don't know who their shark is that partnered with them, but it's really easy. They ship it to your door. You get it all set up. The one mistake I made is I didn't open the maintenance care package because I thought it was just filters for the stuff. You're actually supposed to add a little bit of chemicals. So like 6 days in, I'm like, why does the water stink? And it's because when you get in, you still sweat because you start to generate, heat, things like that. But so I had to change the water last night at like 10 p.m. And I was really proud of myself that I spent like an hour draining it, refilling it, doing all that stuff, that I still woke up like wanting to go get in. And actually it was much better today because the water was fresh. It was clean. My daughter loves it, by the way. She's like, Dad, I want to go watch you get in the cold bathtub.
But
so
she
she
doesn't
comes
get in
out.
it.
No, not yet. I haven't convinced her to get in it yet. She dipped a toe in the other day.
It's funny.
But a lot of health benefits, I think, from the studies that I've done research on, is like 11 minutes a week can bring a lot of positive health relationships with just your body and how it's regenerative in the cell forms. I'm no doctor, so don't quote me on it, but like the mental willpower to get yourself to do it, I feel like nothing else in my day is as hard as that moment that I have to get in.
It's called The Flinch. So there's a book about it. I can't remember who wrote it. It might have been Simon Sinek. I can't remember. But it's talking about like the flinch. And it's like when you get that like...
Should I do it?
It's like when you have to
That's
go
interesting.
have a hard conversation. It's like practicing like beating the flinch is like a super good whatever. I don't know.
Do you know
Challenges
where
yourself.
else I get the flinch? Is when I have to cold call customers. Like I
Exactly.
hate calling people.
Yeah.
I like when people call me because it's like, oh yeah, I have free time to talk to people. I always feel like I'm interrupting people, so I get the flinch. I need to read that book, by the way, so we're gonna drop that in. Look, The Flinch. Here's the book right here.
Yeah, Charlie. I don't know if it's actually called The Flinch, but it talks about that. It probably is. I don't know. But
find it.
we need to have Camille on here. He'll tell us all the details.
Yeah, I don't
He'll
think
be
he's a big
doctor
enough
soon.
guest. He's gonna do some more reps before he gets on the Quick Bites podcast.
There's the
Camille.
shade.
Yep.
Hey, I'm not throwing shade at Camille.
So yeah, you guys should test out cold plunge. I think it's really popular right now. I think it's going to be one of those things that phases out, but to take you guys back a little bit, I first had exposure to cold plunging when I went to a Tony Robbins seminar back in 2017. And it was something that he did religiously for years. And what he speaks on is it increases your energy levels. You know, it's forcing your body into a different state at that time in the morning when you're waking up. It's challenging you. It's putting you through some like dramatic static energy change in your body, which I think I've seen a lot of the benefits of the last 8 days. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to Vegas this weekend. I'm going to be getting in my in-laws pool in the morning instead of the cold plunge. So
Okay.
I'll let you know how that goes. I don't know if it's as cold.
It's probably not gonna be that as cold.
We'll see,
Probably
though.
like 50s, but
Yeah, but still, a little shock in the morning. But Tony Robbins has had a cold plunge in all of his houses. He gets one installed, and his is more like a little pool that he jumps
Yeah.
in and dunks himself in.
was that thing like 20 feet deep?
Yeah, but exactly. When I took that away from him, I always wanted to like have one in my house someday. So it's like really cool that you have the opportunity to, actually have a legit machine that can do it in your house. It's like a bathtub because a lot of us can't afford, the built-in cold plunge tub
Yeah.
at their houses, you know? So it's cool that they've created something. And yes, you can also go to D&B Supply, buy a metal tin, fill it up with water and ice. You got to change that out every 4 or 5 days, what I'd recommend. But yeah, cold plunging. It's a new thing.
Or we just take a shower beforehand, like a warm shower. Clean yourself off.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so when I'm cold plunging, something that I've noticed that's really interesting with your body mechanics is when I get out, I have to wait a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes before I get in the shower. And here's why. So when you're so cold, your body, the way that I look at it is your body turns your thermostat on. It's like, shit, I'm cold, so I need to heat my body up as quick as possible. So by the time when I get to the 2.5 minute mark, my body's pretty warm in the water, but when I get out, it's still hot, which is interesting. Like I'm not like reaching for the towel to dry off and get warm. Like my body stays like the heater's on for a solid 15 to 20 minutes. And if I catch myself getting in a hot shower within 20-ish minutes of getting out of the cold plunge, then my body didn't regulate back to a normal temperature by itself. It was aided by the hot water. And so I'll catch myself shivering and being cold for a few hours. So I feel like when you're cold plunging, make sure that you kind of get out, let your body reset its regulated temperature to 98.6 or around there before you go take a hot shower or get in the shower to rinse off for the day. So I've noticed that, and I've tested it now on 2 of the days where I got in the shower like within 5 minutes and I was just freezing cold till like noon. Whereas like this morning I stayed an extra like 10 minutes just lounging around and I feel like I'm not cold. Like even going outside, it's not as cold for me outside anymore. So it's just kind of interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, you got to get that on your patio, not in the garage.
I can get it as cold as I want, buddy. I know my wife was giving me shit because one of our friends has like the cold plunge. It's a metal tin outside with the ice. And I'm like,
Gotta break it.
I'm like, guess what, bro? In the summertime, that water is going to be 75 to 80 degrees and you don't have a cold plunge.
Exactly.
Sucker.
Yeah, and then you have to go spend $20 a day on ice.
Yeah. Then defeats the purpose. That's where the cold plunge comes in handy. So yeah, cold plunging. That's where it's at.
That will make for some great content if we all go do the plunge.
Yes. Kind of segueing completely opposite. We've been using ChatGPT a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It's housed on AWS.
Is it though?
I don't fucking know, dude. I have no idea. We got bagged on.
Actually, since we were talking about AWS, I've seen so many commercials about it watching football now.
Interesting. I feel like they're going to be a huge, what's kind of interesting is Microsoft came out and their Azure numbers, which is basically the same thing as AWS, were super down they were down in November, and then they were like double down in December, like another 10 or 15% drop. So and this is my theory behind this, and it's kind of interesting, is so cloud storage, when you go buy your Microsoft subscription for your email, you subscribe to a certain amount of storage. Why is storage going down? All these companies are laying people off left and right. So you think of like 12,000 people. Now this is just like storage, like sales anyways. But I just was like, maybe there's a correlation between people being laid off and all of this storage growth not completely happening, because a lot of companies are like cutting some expenses right now. They're cutting employees. Like maybe we don't need to have all this extra storage that we're paying for. So let's just reduce to what we need and grow with it as we grow. ChatGPT, how often do you use it?
I would say weekly at least. But the thing I'm using it for right now is just like brainless things that I need to do. But I'm like, it's not worth it doesn't need my personal touch to it. And it's like, I don't know. So for example, like for like our YouTube description of like about Quick Bites, like we did ChatGPT and it spit out like a paragraph and a half of like great stuff, and we're like, perfect.
Yeah.
Rather than like Charlie and I being like, how can we make this perfect, and like going back and forth and like actually doing it. So it's been helpful in certain things like that. Also ideas, like I ask it for ideas all the time. To kind of like if I have like ideas, I'll like mix it with those ideas, and I'm like, let's make this like even more original and better. But other than that, I haven't needed to use it a ton. But like I said, if I do need it, I do use it.
Do you feel yourself thinking now, like when you go to search something on Google, do you think, oh, maybe I should put this query into ChatGPT instead of Google? Because I think that way now.
Not yet.
When I go to type something into Google, I'm going, and when I've been hitting submit on that query or whatever I'm asking Google, I'm like, God, these first 5 are just fucking ads.
Yeah, they're ads.
And I'm tired of it, And what does Gary say? He says, everything gets ruined by marketing eventually. I think Google SEO.
Yeah.
In the shitter. I think Google's going to come out with something similar. But when ChatGPT was launched, I think Google like shit their pants like, oh crap, we're not first to the party. Because even, doing some research, let's say like instead of searching like where is the best restaurant in Boise, Idaho, like asking ChatGPT to list out the 10 best restaurants that serve, let's say, a nice filet mignon. We both like steaks.
Yes.
How's your lighting?
We'll work with it.
It's fucked. ChatGPT can go pull through, and that's the thing too, is like it's not learning new data. It's just a bunch of compiled language models and things like that to help suffice things. But what ChatGPT did when, let's say, we ask it that, it was able to identify 10 of the top restaurants due to not OpenTable, but
Resi?
no,
Yelp.
not the reservation. Yelp. There you go. And it pulls information from Yelp. So is there going to be a lawsuit from Yelp to them because they're not paying for that information? It's just modeling it out based on what search queries it had access to at the time, which is super fascinating to me. I think we all need to understand what's coming, and those that, once again, adopt it and learn how to use it. VaynerMedia has recently launched new job descriptions for creative, like query search individuals. So now they have, and that's the big thing of finding success in social media and marketing land, is utilizing the benefit of technology's growth and how can we adopt that in all of our companies. For me in commercial real estate, it's not going to perfectly write a lease for me, but guess what? When I'm needing some information on a clause in a lease, I can always ask it questions about that. Like I can take a holdover rent section in a clause, copy paste that into ChatGPT and say, how does this help build leverage for my client, the tenant side? Information. It's just,
it is crazy.
And now it's past the bar exam. It's past the medical licensing exam. I mean, and they haven't even let this thing out into the wild yet to go do its own research. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's scary. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck it.
So what? Microsoft invested 10 billy into OpenAI. They do. They really do. Because think of it in like email.
Yeah.
Like,
well, dude, that like email technology is so dated. I feel like I'm clunking around Gmail and Outlook. I'm like, this is shit. Like,
I know.
But
email's been around for a long time, which is kind of interesting, and you really think of like the iterations of it evolving. Like it really hasn't evolved too much.
Yeah.
Like now you can have your unfocused and focused inbox, and the AI behind that learns that, okay, this one sends an email every day. So let's put it in the like unfocused. And then it's like, that's all it's really learned in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, cause I go through and it's like, you haven't opened an email from so-and-so in this many days. Unsubscribe. I'm like, yes, I love that, but I get one of those like every 4 months. Like I want one like weekly. Because I do like to clean out my subscriptions and stuff, but what was I going to say? Oh, there was this like graphic that was talking about how Elon has started like 10 multi-billion-dollar businesses in like the last 15 years.
Right.
And it was just like...
And for those of you that don't know, Elon is a major investor in OpenAI and like a huge partner in the company.
I was like, I feel like he was like one of the main guys.
Yeah, Sam Altman was the creator of OpenAI, and I think Elon was like the right-hand like investor, that kind of pumped the money into it in ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, Elon's just on a tear right now. They've got earnings this afternoon. So tomorrow when this Friday when this pod goes out, what's your prediction?
I haven't been watching Tesla, but I don't even know. Tesla's earnings have always been like...
Do you want a Tesla someday?
Yeah, I'll probably
should pay attention to their stock then.
I'll probably get one.
Yeah,
Why?
because it matters. You might get a POS Tesla that the company goes bankrupt and...
True. There's lots of that. That's why I don't want one yet.
But. What else we got?
Lucids are nice.
Yeah, I just think no one can compete. Everyone's like 10 years behind Tesla.
Yeah, no, I know.
And it's just another vehicle to the future, I think. Like, I go back and forth on Teslas. The quality is shit, in my opinion, for a car. It's absolute shit. But when the first iPhone came out, like, comparatively, it was shit compared to traditional mobile cell phones. Like, people are like, why do I want this iPhone looking thing?
Yeah.
But it was the vehicle to now we use it every single day.
Well, yeah, Tesla's not focused on building a car. They're focused on building the software
the
behind
IP and
self-driving
all of that
and like
stuff.
The software that goes into like tapping a button and then it like heats up your car in the morning with that. Like, it just does all that stuff. But I think like on the back end, they'll start focusing on the quality.
Yeah.
But they got to figure out the actual like
some of the logistics.
what they're selling besides just the car.
Right.
And a nice car.
Right.
They'll get there.
They'll get there. I feel like we always got to give Elon a little shout out on the pod. He's been a little quiet recently. He's been hiding out. He hasn't been tweeting a bunch recently, which is kind of interesting too.
I don't go on Twitter, so.
I know you're like way behind the times, Riley. You need to start learning how to read the news. It's what the world revolves around.
I don't read or watch the news.
What do you do all day?
Probably why I'm so happy. Yeah.
Oh, Riley.
Make videos. That's what I do.
That's what you
I'm
do.
a content creator. I'm not a content consumer.
Well, you have to consume to learn how to create.
True.
TikTok.
TikTok's
going away?
Bye-bye.
Staying here?
Well, I think this is the first step of like actually getting rid of TikTok as a nation. Because it's like right now it's what? Universities and like if you got, I think if you got on the Wi-Fi at like the Capitol, it would not be on there either.
100%.
Like all state.
All government. I read something recently that in 19 states, in all government buildings, Capitol buildings, all those government regulated entities that have internet access, it's banned and all that. So, like when you're in grade school, like you and your buddies are in like computer science class and you guys find this hack to this new website to like go play video games during class. And you're like, yeah, hell yeah. I don't know if you did that, but I did.
The first VPNs.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, well, we didn't even have VPNs back then, bro. It's like, hey, it's www. CCC games or whatever,
Yeah.
And we used to like find these games and they'd like work for 2 weeks and then all of a sudden like the servers would be like, can't go on this website. You're like, shit, what's the workaround?
That's funny.
So I think that's kind of what's going on at TikTok. It was interesting, fascinating enough, little Boise, Idaho has now banned TikTok on all Boise State servers. So we must be working on some really like nuclear positive energy. I think we're one of like 5 or 6 college campuses that have finally banned TikTok on just on their Wi-Fi. So if you're running a hotspot, you can be on TikTok in your dorm room all day long.
Yeah, seriously.
If you're stealing the Broncos internet, bye-bye TikTok. I just think that there's too much... it's interesting. I think it's a great platform. It's grown significantly over the last 3 years. It's a great ad model. I think the features of it is like definitely targeting like the dopamine hit you get from swiping and scrolling and all that shit.
100%.
That's why it's done well. They obviously have a great algorithm because you get the shit you want to see.
So
you know
weird.
what I mean?
So weird.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, from like we'll come from like a marketing, I'll come from a marketing direction of like, that's why it's important to have all of your followers on all of your social medias. Like, there's like the circle that you got to close, which means like one person follows you on all of your platforms, email, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yes.
Whatever else is out there, and it's like, so if one of those does go away, it's not the end of the world, not the end of your brand or what you've built.
Right.
Yes, it takes a pillar out, but when there's 5 pillars and one gets taken out, it's not going to fall over.
Right.
Well, then we just got to worry about all the other pillars and where they're going.
Sometimes it can fall over if you're not careful, like if you start to count on all of, a lot of these influencers right now rely their lives on this ad revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, like if you're making, I know a handful of influencers that are making 5, 6, 7, 10K a month off of just posting shit on TikTok. And that all of a sudden is like gone. Can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. I think also like that the age of like the influencer, they're like making a lot of money is like they're always the innovators. So like if that was to go away, they're going to be on the next thing.
Right.
Like cuz
you look at like Logan Paul.
Exactly. Like you look at like the people that are making that money, and I'm talking about like millions a year. Like they've figured that out, and there's a reason that they're making that much a year just on who they are and what they're doing. It's because they know some hacks, they know some different things, so they're probably like 10 steps ahead anyway.
Right. They're already on not necessarily on the next platform, but they're learning how to monetize off their brand that they built off of TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, because you take the top 100 influencers, like there's an inner circle there. Like they all talk, they're all like this, like,
Yeah, what happens if this is going on?
It's not just
start podcasts like you and I.
Yeah. They're not just like, oh, we're just going to do TikTok our whole life. Like, after that, like even like right as they peaked, they're like, all right, we got to start focusing on what's next.
Right.
Like,
You know who's going to be really fun to talk to about this is our guest that's coming on in a few weeks.
yeah. Why is that?
Just because he
like,
knows
software
social pretty well. He has some friends that are in the big influencer circles. I mean, he spent some time down at like the TikTok houses and stuff when they first were popular. So we'll have to ask him about that.
I'm sure he'll give us real insight too.
Yeah, for those wondering,
Not fluff.
we're not releasing the guest's name until they're on the show. So tune in.
Yeah. Sweet.
What else? TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok is still like a easy platform to grow on. I know I sound like a broken record, but Facebook's where it's at right now. Facebook Reels. Yeah.
I like that. That's really interesting.
But to each their own. You could choose either platform and go ham on each one, and you could probably do the same thing.
What are your thoughts? I had this interesting thought this morning of just on Instagram, on my stories, I'm getting so many ads recently.
Really?
Like just every other story, it's like an ad or an ad or an ad, and I'm swiping through stories like crazy now.
Yeah.
I feel like they're starting to monetize more because they've been hit as a company so hard that they're like, you know what, fuck it. We're going to give everybody as many ads as possible, and people are going to start paying for that shit. Because like Google SEO, like you only get charged when someone clicks on your link.
Yeah.
So does it work that way in Facebook land? I think so. Yeah. If someone clicks on your ad, that's when you pay for it. So they're delivering more ads to consumers because they can control that.
Yeah, and they're also paying influencers a lot more now.
True, they're trying to pass it through because then it grows the traffic to it.
Facebook is directly competing with TikTok. I mean, Facebook owns Instagram, so like they're both competing against TikTok in a sense.
Right.
And TikTok has terrible CPM.
Terrible.
Like, honestly, as a creator, it's 100% worth it to go Facebook.
Right. They just have a better back-end like data system too that you can tap into.
Yeah. Facebook's requirements are like the lowest and easiest to me right now to get monetized. It's like you either need 100,000 views in the last 30 days or 1,000 followers, but you don't need like 3 to all line up at once.
Like you do on TikTok.
I think Instagram is what, 10K?
Yeah, I think it's just the 10K.
And on Instagram, like 10K followers, like shit's harder than you think. Like to get 10K followers, like
without buying them,
it's difficult.
It's really difficult.
So like that's why Facebook is so hot right now, and like that's where like a lot of the creators are making good money is from Facebook. And they also have 6 different ways that you can monetize. So it's not just from views. There's ads on Reels. There's bonus plays. There's performance bonuses. Like there's a lot of different things on Facebook. Rather than Instagram's just the bonus from the views. But it'll be interesting. It's always interesting to see where things go.
To wrap things up today, have you heard the most recent drama on Live Golf and PGA?
No.
Rory's getting teas thrown at him, and it's a big deal. We'll leave you guys with that.
Rory's a little dramatic.
We're out.
We're out.